Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Cubs Sports Report. I'm Grant, and I'm here to talk with you about the Chicago Cubs, who have just forced a Game 5 against the Milwaukee Brewers in the NLDS. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be able to see all of our videos on GM Sports Report. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this video. So, like I said, the Cubs have now forced a Game 5 against the Milwaukee Brewers after going down 0-2 to begin this series. Just an incredible bounce back that shows really the resilience that this Cubs team has had all year. They're back against the wall. They're calm, cool, collected, and they find ways to win big games. So now going to be playing the biggest game of the season on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to see what happens there. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and go over this incredible Game 4 that the Cubs had, because the Game 3 in Wrigley, it felt like a survival win, which obviously we needed. We needed to win. But it felt like, oh, we kind of survived there to force one more game. But this Game 4 felt like a game that really could shift the tides if we move forward as we move forward here. It felt like a game where it's like the Cubs figured them out. Maybe they have the momentum now. They're thinking to themselves, man, we really could beat this team. So I think this was a great win, a 6-0 win where the bullpen just shuts down. Matthew Boyd has an incredible bounce back start, which we'll get into. Yeah, this game really felt like a turning point in this series, because like I said, Game 3 they found a way to win, but it was very close game. It was survival mode. They couldn't hit outside of the first inning, like how most of the series is gone. But this Game 4 really felt special. And it really started with Matthew Boyd. Like I said, Matthew Boyd in the first game of the series obviously struggled. The Brewers had his number. They got him out before he could even complete an inning, and everything fell apart after that. So Game 1 wasn't really any success for Matthew Boyd. So a lot of people were skeptical when he was named the starter for Game 4. A lot of people were nervous. I was a little nervous, but I remembered his home stats. He has an incredible home record, and you also got to know, like, he's probably wanting to redeem himself here, and he did just that. Went out there through 4 2/3 scoreless innings, had 6 strikeouts. He just looked fantastic. It looked like the Matthew Boyd that we've seen for most of the year, who can command the curveball, the slider, drop the arm angles, all those things. He looked fantastic. So to see him bounce back and pitch in the biggest game of his career probably, and have such success was very encouraging to see. And I really hope that that wasn't his last game of the season, but if it was, man, he really proved himself there. So yeah, that's where really a lot of the success started. But then we look at one of the biggest moments in the game, probably the biggest moment in the game. In the first inning, Ian Happ hit in that 3-run home run. I was kind of frustrated with Ian Happ this whole postseason. He hasn't felt like he's done much. And when he has done something, it felt like he did stuff when the game was over, like his first home run in the postseason, where we were already down by a lot and he had a home run. It was like, okay, like it's a meaningless home run. But man, did he put on the biggest swing maybe ever as a Cub or in his career. In the first inning, 2 outs, runners on first and second. He gets a fastball from Freddie that he was sitting on, and he was ready, and he hit it about three-fourths into the stands in right field. Absolutely crushed that baseball, and just a huge moment, a huge momentum shift. After that moment, it really felt like this was the Cubs game to win. So just incredible captain-like moment, experienced veteran moment from Ian Happ, which is what we've been expecting from him. So to see him have that moment was huge. And he really had a couple of other balls that he hit really hard. He had one that pushed their center fielder all the way back to the wall, and I thought it was going to get out, but it just stayed in the ballpark. So if Ian Happ's heating up, that could be a good sign there. And the offense did really improve this game. Now they are still having that issue of leaving runners on base. I mean, we left the bases loaded. We left multiple runners on base, multiple innings. So they got to figure that out, because they really could be winning these games big if they just locked in more when there was runners on base. But the offense was significantly better today than it's been really all this playoff run. Matthew Shaw had that big hit in the 6th inning, the 7th inning. Really important stuff. Seeing Kyle Tucker hit that home run, that absolute rocket that he hit the left center field. Huge sign to see from him. And let me tell you, Kyle Tucker had a huge game, 2 for 3. with a home run, and he had 2 walks on top of that. So he's looking more and more comfortable. And if there's anything worth noting for going into Game 5, it's that Kyle Tucker, our superstar of the Chicago Cubs, is starting to heat up and look healthy again. So if he can have a huge performance in Game 5, anything can happen. So that was a huge thing to see. And then in the 8th inning, Michael Busch, debatably the best hitter in playoff baseball right now. He leads the league in playoff home runs with 4 now. Hit a home run in the 8th inning, and man, Michael Busch, dude, what a season he's had. And I can't wait to see this team in Game 5. I really think they're starting to heat up at the right time. I think that they know what they're capable of. I think they know what they have the chance to do. I think they're fired up right now, and all the pressure is on the Milwaukee Brewers right now. I know that they look at themselves as the underdogs no matter what, but they have the best record in baseball. They were up 2-0 against us. Not just up 2-0, they demoralized us at their home field in those first 2 games. But the Cubs found a way to bounce back and be resilient and find a way to force a Game 5, and all the pressure is on the Milwaukee Brewers now. Another thing that I wanted to talk about from this Game 4 was just a fantastic effort from the bullpen. Really, the last 2 games have been fantastic efforts from the bullpen, but in this Game 4 specifically, Daniel Palencia coming in a jam and cleaning it up. You had Drew Pomeranz come in and shut it down like he's done every time he's pitched in the playoffs. Brad Keller, a little shaky with the leadoff walk and then falling behind in the next at bat, but he found a way to get out of it, get a ground ball, get a double play. And then Caleb Thielbar, who's also been great all year long with a shutout in the 9th. Just fantastic stuff from this bullpen. I mean, I feel like every episode on here I've shouted out this bullpen just because of how good they've been. And I don't think any of us expected that coming into the season. When you come into a season and you hear names like Caleb Thielbar and Brad Keller and Drew Pomeranz, you're thinking to yourselves, oh, we don't have the best bullpen in the world. But shout out to this Cubs pitching staff, because the pitching coaches, the pitching staff, because they found a way to have success with this bullpen, and they've looked fantastic. I mean, Kittredge has looked great. All these guys, Palencia outside of that 3-run home run has looked fantastic. So shout out to the bullpen, because they were a huge part of why we won this game today, why we won Game 3. And really, in Games 1 and 2, they were kind of the bright spot, if there was any, because the Brewers haven't scored a run past the 5th inning, and that's our relief pitching that's doing that. So shout out to them, and I hope they can get the job done on Saturday. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do a preview of Game 5, what I think it'll look like. So there's a big question going around: who's going to pitch for Game 5? And at this time, let me just check real quick. I'm pretty sure we still don't know who the starter is, but according to the rules, the Cubs can request permission from the commissioner's office to replace a pitcher who is injured to bring back Cade Horton. I don't know if that, I obviously don't think that's going to be the case. It would be crazy if it was, and a crazy story if Cade Horton returns for Game 5, but I don't think that'll be the case. But, a lot of Cubs fans are speculating that maybe that's a chance and hoping that that's a chance. I think that would be absolutely crazy, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I do think that the starter will be either Shota or Colin Ray, or maybe we even see something different and they throw out a Savali and Soroka or something like that, an opener, and we go for a bullpen game. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that Craig Counsell is going to put out and who his opinion is the best pitcher to win us a baseball game, the best pitchers that will win us a baseball game. Maybe you'll see something with Shota where, like Matthew Boyd, he had a terrible first outing and he came back and he bounced back. Maybe Shota is capable of doing that. We've seen Shota have good starts before. I mean, for the whole first season he was here, he was our ace. So maybe he can bounce back and have a great game. Maybe they feel like Colin Ray's a guy who can have success, a former pitcher of the Brewers, someone who's pitched in that ballpark a lot. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but there hasn't been a named official starter yet. There's a lot of options on the table for Craig. And really, I should have – I do trust Craig Counsell in this situation, because he hasn't really given me a reason to not trust him. He's been great, in my opinion, managing these games. So I'm really excited to see what happens. I think the only thing that Craig Counsell missed on was maybe starting Matthew Boyd in game one when he was only on 4 days rest. But outside of that, I think Craig Counsell has managed a great playoff so far, and I trust him to make this decision with game five. And I really hope this offense can stay hot, because if this offense can just score runs and this bullpen can stay where they're at, I really think they can get it done. And that's going to be so exciting if they can come back down 2-0. Obviously, we've seen how hard it is. I think they said only 10 teams in the history of MLB have done it. But even just look at this playoff run. You had the Philadelphia Phillies, who a lot of people thought were a shoo-in for the World Series, go down 2-0 and they weren't able to do it. We saw the New York Yankees, who a lot of people had as favorites, and they weren't able to do it. So this is a really challenging thing to do, and the Cubs have potential to make it happen. They have forced a game five, and win or lose, I'm very proud of them for fighting back in this series and forcing a game five and making this a respectable series. Because after those first two games, it would have been so easy for them to just lay down and die and not give any effort and get swept. So for them to protect home field and force a game five was just a great sign to see. It was huge. It showed their resilience. They've been resilient all year long. Say what you want about this Cubs team. They may have been underperforming in certain areas of this season, but for the most part, there's one thing you can't take away from this team, and that is their fight and their will to win. So I'm really hoping that game five, they come out swinging, and we'll see. May the best team win. I'm very excited. Let me know down below who you think should start pitching, what your thoughts are going into this game, how confident you are. I'm super excited, but nervous at the same time, because I know the Brewers are going to go out there and try to, kill us and embarrass us again. But we're going to have to be ready for it and fight back. And something that's going to be huge is we beat their ace, Freddie Peralta, in game four. That's something you can't talk about enough. That's huge for us, because now moving forward, they might have to have an opener. They might have to go Jacob Mizorowski, who's a rookie and has to pitch in an elimination game. So that's a huge thing for us to beat Freddie Peralta in game four. That could help us. And all the momentum is starting to feel like it's shifting towards the Cubs. Knock on wood, because the Brewers are still the favorites in this series. And, that we are going to be playing in Milwaukee. But I'm just really excited to see what the Cubs can do, because I think they know what they're capable of and what they have. They see the opportunity that's at hand here. So I'm very excited, very nervous. But that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. I'll catch you guys after this series, after game five, hopefully preparing for a Dodgers Cubs NLCS, but we'll see. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to be able to see all of our videos. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys have a stress-free 24 hours, because Saturday, all of that stress is going to come back. So make sure you guys are ready. Grab some ginger ale, grab some stomach medicine, grab some saltine crackers, because it's going to be a stressful one, but it should be fun at the same time. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great week. Go Cubs, go. Get it done. Let's go.